be going pretty quickly. So it's not uncommon to see races done in under 6 minutes. And speaking of races, here we go. Thouther versus AbuYazan is underway. Quick crate room here. Thouther is going to spend his bomb to break open 2 of these, and then find a trap door that Abu's missing. So going to get a little lead here, both in terms of build and in position. Obsidian armor and a slight distance lead. So good start for Thouther. Black chest here going to have a base staff. That's more or less a straight upgrade to the dagger. Again, Diamond without the ability to throw weapons. That utility that the dagger normally has is no longer present. No throwable boss strats. Not that you really need them. The ability to attack diagonally means that you don't really need like throws and bombs for most boss strats. Shrine of Uncertainty there. That they're going to take it and is going to get some sort of longsword. I think that's an obsidian longsword. Wasn't looking at that boss fight. Yes, that is an obsidian longsword there. So, you know, gonna power up as you bring that multiplier up to maximum 3 damage. Very strong weapon, obsidian longsword. You know, not the fastest weapon in the game, but very reliable, very strong. Something you can definitely run to the end game. Gonna get regen out of this purple chest, feeling that flawless victory. Works really nicely with Thouther's armor that he's got. Gonna really help him keep his health up. And yeah, Thouther maintaining a slight lead here. A little bit, I think, a little bit more comfortable with pushing just because he's got that extra defense. I think looking like he wants to check this potential food shop, so he's going to give up his lead here, and it is the food shop. It's a pretty weak one. I'm not sure I consider that worth killing for. Just going to gluttony off the carrot and get himself up to 5 hearts. Oh, if he had saved the gluttony charm, there's a ham in that red chest. That would be great for him. But yeah, that was a lot of time investment on Thouther for not much gain. And Diamond is a character that moves so quickly. This 1 floor difference could be pretty big. Just because once you really get going, Diamond can just rush through the rest of the floor and give a racer who's behind not much chance to catch up. Abu gonna pass up on the Ring of Piercing, wants to stick with the safety of his Ring of Regen here. And oh, Thouther getting into a really nasty situation. Gonna have to back off here. Getting frozen by the blue dragon and crushed by a shove monster. But Obsidian armor again, you know, helping to keep him safe. So, and that Ring of Regen gonna patch up some of those some of that damage he took. Abu down to King Kong at 3. Thouther doing a little shopping again, getting a sickload of telepathy, which can be handy for the mapping front, but gonna mean that he's going to be aggroing more spirits, most likely, because that telepathy will reveal them instead of causing them to spawn randomly. And it's still about a 1 floor difference. Thouther's going to be forced to kill the conga lines here too, which is a little slow. Does not have a bomb or a shovel that'll let him destroy Konga's throne, so has to take out the lines, but it does it fairly well. It's going to move on. Checking for a better weapon here, just finds a titanium longsword, not what he wants. For you know, all things considered, that's more or less a downgrade compared to what he's already got. Pardon the sniffles. Oh, and Nightmare Cloud blocking his view of the walls there. Gonna force him to drop his multiplier to an invalid action. Taking a lot of damage in this 4-1 is Thouther, but he's gonna get down to 4-2. But Abu's still leading the charge here, and has that chainmail now, so his build is pretty much on par with Thouther's now. And Thouther is taking a lot of damage here. Yeah, gonna need his ham there. Gonna bomb away that Blade Master. Dropping his multiplier though, you gotta be a little more consistent about maintaining your multiplier when you're running Obsidian gear. Thouther not just running the Obsidian Longsword, but also the Obsidian Armor. His stream kind of locking up for a bit there for me, so I'm going to shift over to Abu, who's now on Coral Rift 4. Pretty straightforward fight here. Coral Rift being pretty much the same fight regardless of version, provided that you have at least 2 damage, and that Obsidian Longsword is going to give that 2 damage. In fact, it's going to give 3 damage, provided you keep the multiplier up. And Thouther in full panic mode, just taking hit after hit. He is down to 1 more hit, and he's going to go down. Gonna get some cheese though, so heal up a little bit, but so a huge time loss for him dealing with that swarm, so he's in really bad shape as far as the distance is concerned. Still getting hung up in this 4-3 and gonna go down, just taking hit after hit and never, like, just letting himself get swarmed and not really dealing with any of the enemies. Just slapping Blade Masters and not killing them for the longest time. Can't just let yourself get overwhelmed like that. So it looks like he's going to just wait this out, wait for Abu to finish up now. Could reset if he wants, but yeah, at this point it's looking pretty grim for him. Abu on 5-3, so 1 floor away from victory, and with 4.5 hearts and Chainmail now 5.5 hearts from the regen. Death Metal 5 is the last fight, and it's a pretty straightforward one. As I say that though, Abu taking a lot of damage to these Evil Eyes, losing his multiplier on the longsword in the process, so low damage, but still has that ham on deck, and he's going to clean this out and take game 1. How does the glass shrine interact with an uncertainty weapon? Not something I've tested, but I would imagine it probably turns it into the glass equivalent of whatever it is. Don't know if it replaces the icon with a glass longsword or what, but I would imagine it converts it to glass. Good question, though. Something I might want to test later. Those are not the same seeds. Okay, hopefully one of them notices. If not, I have... Okay, looks like Thouther noticed. Wait, no. That's not... still not the same. There we go. Okay. Alright, seeing Abu going, a little bit of delay on Thouther's side because of that buffering earlier, I guess, but bombing into this potential blood shop. It's actually a glass shop, so both races are just going to reset and get their bomb back. Early blood shops potentially very valuable, but if you waste your bomb on something else, especially something like a 1-1 glass shop where you can't do anything with it. Again, Diamond does not have the ability to throw weapons, so he cannot go for a throw kill on the glass shopkeeper. And when that glass shop is the first thing you find, you're gonna have no money. nothing you can do about it. Thouther being kind of strangely indecisive about that that trapdoor, kind of just meandering around for not really accomplishing anything, giving Abu a bit of a lead here. That's an early ring of piercing, which is pretty nice. Piercing gonna allow you to pierce through enemy shields and shells and whatnot. Very useful in Zone 4, especially against Blade Masters, and Zone 5 against the Orc Shields. Not too useful in Zone 1 because nothing has shields, short of one particular possible arena that can have a black shielded skeleton, but other than that, piercing doesn't really... Oh, and Thouther looking a little bit panicked, dropping some beats in this Coral Rift, so he's going to miss this Glass Rapier, which is a really big deal, especially if Abu manages to carry it for a long distance. Glass, you know, being the strongest material in the game as far as damage output is concerned, but breaking if you take damage. So, as long as Abu can keep this Rapier alive, he's going to have a huge advantage with those 4 damage attacks and 8 damage lunges. Yeah, Thouther forced to keep running this 1 damage dagger. It's a little less terrible on Diamond because the ability to diagonally attack makes it so that you can kind of get away with killing enemies without having to back off as much, and making good use of his bombs to make up for his lack of weapon damage. Killing the Minotaur there with a bomb and a dagger poke, and is on to Fortissimo. Looks like Abu found a titanium staff out of the boss chest here, so if Thouther can maintain the flawless here, he'll be picking up that staff as well. Struggling to get the hit on, and taking a hit to Fortissimo there, so no flawless again. Thouther looking a little shaky on his boss fights, maybe needs to practice those a bit. And Abu, meanwhile, perfectly comfortable to just do all the shopping in the world, knows he has a distance lead and a build lead that he can just further build upon. Losing that Frost Charm, but finding a Shrine of Space that he's going to bomb for a map, which is a very good find. And yeah, Titanium Staff Piercing, a very powerful combination. Just kind of lets you laser through large swaths of enemies all at once without having to worry about shields. Little dangerous in Zone 4 though, because Zone 4 does have Warlocks that can teleport you long distances if you happen to hit one with your staff shots. So we might see him look for a new weapon, but he's gonna go for red and find the Dove Familiar. Going to use it, which I'm not sure I agree with. Dove Familiar can really do some pretty bad things to short-range weapons in terms of denying potential targets. And whoa, there's one of those staff teleports I was talking about. Warlock in the corner of that room, as he shot the dragon, he teleports into the room and also hits a golem, I think. Or no, it must have just been a natural ooze puddle, because the goo would have spawned on the tile he came from. So yeah, I guess there was just ooze in the corner. But good reaction times on Abu's part, so gonna come out of that just fine. And still making a really strong push here. Has to be careful here though, taking lots of damage to these to this room here. Ooh, very well done to dodge that fire pig blast. Getting heals up from the Shopkeep Familiar. Shopkeep Familiar on his left there, going to heal him by half a heart every time it picks up a gold pile of at least I think it's 20 gold or more. And yeah, despite the shaky Zone 4, going to just get all his health back thanks to that Shopkeeper Familiar. Shopkeeper Familiar being super strong item in pretty much any category, whether you're playing for score, for speed, or just for survival. Just having the constant source of heals is so good. And that Strength Charm, giving that staff that +1, bringing him up to that critical 3 damage threshold, gonna let him make very short work of this Zone 5. Dove Familiar just teleporting away that entire room of enemies. And yeah, see, here's what I'm talking about with the Dove Familiar, though. Had the potential to shoot several lasers down into this exit room, But the Dove Familiar just teleporting away all his potential targets, meaning that he doesn't really have the opportunity to do that. But very good push here. We're looking like a sub-6 run here as he goes down to Conga. That Earth Tome is going to make this fight extremely easy. Just needs to get Conga off his throne and then crush him against it with the Earth Tome. A little bit of a trip up there, but going to secure the quick kill and finishing with a sub-6, a 551 time. The staff, Titanium staff, is really strong, and with piercing, it's just on an entirely new level. That's a pretty fast round. One of the fastest ones we've seen in this tournament. Anything sub-6 is very, very good. Guess was correct? Okay, yeah, that's what I figured. So yeah, I'll be going up 2-0 here, although this is a set of 3, not a best of 3. So even though Abu's already won the set, we are going to see a third game, as both racers here try to put extra points on the board to try and secure themselves better playoff spots. It looks like Thouther may be taking a short break, but we'll be resuming shortly. Let me check out the stats on these guys really quick. Okay. So Thouther, unfortunately, at this point, doesn't really have any chance of making it into the playoffs. This is his last race, and out of 3 races, each, a set of 3. And out of the potential 6 points he'd claimed before this set, he had 2. So at this point, the most you can get is 3 out of a possible 9, and the top 8 out of 16 racers are going to be advanced to the playoffs. 3 points out of 9, not going to cut that, unfortunately. AbuYazan, though, looking to secure himself a very high-ranking position. Still has another race to go after this, and if he takes this last race, he's going to be at a perfect 6 out of 6 possible points. The last of his races being against Greemy, which is going to be about half an hour after this. So stick around, and we'll see where Abu ends up. Greemy also very high potential to shoot up in the rankings, though. Also at a currently 3 out of 3 possible points. Still has to race AbuYazan and Rat Racing. I believe both of which will be happening later today. Well, obviously Abu, as I just said, going to be happening in about half an hour. But Rat Racing, let me see if when that's scheduled for. Oh no, Greemy versus Rat Racing is not yet scheduled. It's going to be Rat Racing versus Steak. That's going to be later tonight. And actually, I think either I misread the time or oh, Greenbat! We've got a Greenbat in 1-1. Pretty rare spawn there, ability to move diagonally, so they're pretty scary enemies. But both of them happening to just kind of, all bats move randomly, and the Greenbat just kind of moving away from the players there. So both of them lucking out, not really having to worry about it. The Greenbats do kind of hurt if they manage to hit you. I believe it's a 1.5 heart damage hit. I'll be going to be checking that lock shop, not really finding anything worthwhile. Glass shop here, though, could potentially be pretty good. Oh, and a magic ham in that barrel. Oh, that's so good. Both racers going to get that. Okay, so going to be seeing both racers fighting this glass shopkeeper to get this glass cutlass. Both racers, I think, wisely choosing to skip on the glass jaw, which would, you know, give them the double damage, but render those 7 hearts of health pretty useless. Extra health on Diamond is a little less valuable than it is on other characters, because Diamond does not have spells. Other characters can convert high amounts of health into potential speed by channeling them into blood magic, but Diamond has no blood magic, so don't really have that value here. And that's a Ring of Courage out of the purple chest. This is going to be a potentially very fast run. Courage being one of the best speed rings, as long as you have a good weapon to go with it. And Thouther finding this obsidian staff and going to make the swap there. Much safer weapon, you know, doesn't have to worry about this breaking. But, you know, there are the dangers associated with stabs in the late game, particularly in Zone 4 with Warlocks. So, you know, certainly still needs to be careful. Doing a little shopping. I don't think he can really afford to do this. Abu is pushing ahead. Still has his glass armor intact, and oh, Thouther! Thouther just broke his glass shovel and left the shard behind, so he's going shovelless, which is pretty bad in Zone 3. It's potentially actually useful in Zone 4 since you'll do small digs through Zone 4, but Zone 3 can be pretty bad. Zone 5, it's usually really bad. So, yeah. Okay, finding an obsidian shovel, though, so correcting that almost immediately. Abu losing all his glass, though, digging that wall while standing on hot coals, so he's down to a 1 damage glass shard. And this is going to open the door for Thouther, whose build was looking much weaker. Looks like Thouther wants to buy that drumstick, get most of his health back. Probably going to wait to eat it on the stairs. Okay, no, just going to eat it there. Yeah, needs to be very careful about this Courage build. Courage build is really scary with ice. Rat kind of saving him a little bit of damage there. Panic bombing, and down goes Thouther. Thouther just, Thouther's showing to struggle a little bit with the swarmy situations. That bomb was not a good call. And pushing that aggressively into a swarm of Yetis when you have a short-range weapon with Courage is not something you can really do. Speaking of Courage, though, Abu finding the Courage shovel as well, so he's got the double Courage build. And, yeah, found an Obsidian Longsword, which is a pretty solid Courage weapon. Gonna let you get, you know, proc Courage pretty frequently with that long, you know, multi-tile reach. Though Abu is still looking kind of shaky here, just kind of walking into damage from that Blade Master. So kind of needs to, you know, not take all his health for granted. 7 hearts is a lot of health, but he has no armor, and health can evaporate surprisingly quickly when you have no armor. Playing it pretty safe here, clearing out every enemy from this room, even the pretty non-threatening Goblin Sentry. Gonna bomb away this Warlock. Doing a little more shopping. It finds heavy glass armor, which is going to be 3 blocked hits worth of damage. Gonna be looking for a more standard piece of armor, though, and gets the obsidian armor. Could have bought those cookies in the shop back there, but it's just running this ham up. Probably should consider eating that ham, because he's pretty low on health. Swapping to a mystery weapon with the Shrine of Uncertainty. It's some sort of bow. Bows are not particularly strong, so he's going to
going to stick with his obsidian log. Still not even... Okay, there goes the ham meat, finally. Really worrying me with his fairly low health and still having that ham on deck. But yeah, eventually getting around to eating that ham. So it's looking very likely that it's going to be a 3-0 sweep in AbuYazan's favor. That said, it's not over yet. Thouther's making a pretty strong push himself. He's back on the room he died on last time. But AbuYazan with the spiked ears, that's going to give his longsword an extra +2 damage. Doing a ton of damage. At max multiplier, that's going to be 5 damage. Gonna swap off the spiked ears, though, to the blast helm, which is, blast helm giving you bomb immunity and also making your own bombs instant detonation, giving you a really nice panic button to clear enemies out around you. And he's on to 5-3, so yeah, looking to close this one out very shortly. The double courage combination just kind of let him mow through everything here. Thouther on to his third boss, Conga 3. Abu getting swarmed a little bit here. Has to be careful. He's really low on health. That actually got a little scary. And he's got to be kind of careful on this Fortissimo fight. He's only got 1 heart left. And gonna clean it up. So Abu really tempting fate there at the end, but going to take this set 3-0, and that puts him in an excellent state. Flawless record so far, 6 out of possible 6 points. Thouther unfortunately gonna finish this tournament with only 2 out of the possible 9. So looks like the end of Thouther's tournament life in this event. So better luck next time to him.